Whew. Relevant. Ladies and gentlemen, we're only on till 8 o'clock. That's why the phone lines are not open every Monday. Coach's show comes on at 8. Basketball season, go Dogs, should be going for just about a month and a half more. Then we have SEC tournament and then the March Madness. And so we should be going back to our 2 hours every night very shortly. But, tonight we're here till 8. U.S. Agency for International Development it started as an executive order under Kennedy. Now, back in those days, right, hear me out. Back in those days, it was a decent idea, right? Coming out of, starting the Cold War, you're coming out of World War II. The whole world is in flux, right? Like countries, you have countries that were colonized who are seeking independence, and they can go to the highest bidder, meaning communists or Russia or America, right? These are two big players, Russia and America. And Europe is there, but Europe is devastated. They just, they're 15, maybe a little under 20 years out of World War II. They're devastated. They have no money. They're not doing anything. The Cold War is between the U.S. and Russia for control for the ideological control and control basically of the planet. So you have a lot of countries, African countries especially, that were looking at communism, looking at democracy. You got Caribbean countries, you got countries, Eastern European countries. All these countries are looking. They're coming out of they're coming to freedom. And so you start this agency so you can give aid, the idea being, well, if we can help people grow crops, eradicate diseases, educate them, we can control them. That's the whole idea. So you start this U.S. Agency for International Development. You pass out money, essentially, to get people on your side. Well, it's 2025. All the billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars that we've given away over the course of decades, from the 60s till now, many, many, many years, almost 60 years, just handing out money to the tune of billions of dollars, taxpayer money, because the government doesn't make anything. You're extracting taxes from hardworking people, and you're giving it to somebody else, hoping that they'll be your friend. That's essentially what it is. And over the course of years, the Chinese, over the course of the last maybe 10 or 12 years, the Chinese went into these same countries now, said, hey, man, we're going to build you a road. And those countries are now, hey, China, you're our friend now. So wasting money, essentially, because you're buying your friends. And everybody knows if you buy your friends, they're not going to be loyal to you. You're just buying them. They're going to be there until the money dries up. And now the money's dried up. But let me say this. And look. Call me what you will when I get ready to make this comment. But I know America doesn't really care about DEI in Burma. I know a lot of people are talking about it around talk radio and television and everything, and Twitter. They're sending out millions of dollars to Burma for DEI programs and scholarships. I've been around long enough to know that the American government does not care one hoot about Burmese scholarships and Burmese students. I do know, however, that Burma is run by the military, and it's basically a dictatorial country. And I do know by giving students scholarships and educating them, quote unquote, you're funding a pro-democracy movement. And I personally have people here in this country that need to be taken care of. I really don't care about the pro-democracy movement in Burma under the guise of Burmese scholarships and DEI. I could care less. Let them do what they got to do. But those days are over where we go around the whole world funding these radicals, funding people to take over their governments. In Honduras, I think $500,000 in Honduras for LGBT students in government. Well, let me tell you the problem with that. If you're a Democrat, you should have a problem with that. You know why you should have a problem with that? Because Honduras is probably the second poorest country in the Western Hemisphere behind Haiti. And they're right behind Haiti and in terms of poverty and their people being just unable to feed themselves, essentially. $400,000 to get LGBT students or LGBT members of the LGBTQI in government, that sounds like a CIA operation to me. Because I'd much rather that $400,000 just go to feed the people. Right? Doesn't that make more sense? Ladies and gentlemen, and Honduras, by the way, is why sits over a bunch of oil. But all of this is going on. So, yes, cancel USAID. Bring it up under the State Department. So that way, if there's a super duper typhoon or hurricane or earthquake in some part of the world, Marco Rubio can say, hey, guys, let's get some money and some aid and some supplies to this part of the world because they just suffered a horrendous earthquake. That is our role as the big kid on the block. That is our role as a leader in the world, to help people when they're in time of trouble. But it's not our role to fund groups who are trying to overtake government so we can buy our friends. Nah, those days are over. I'm not trying to buy friends anymore. We're trying to tell people straight up, we're the most powerful military on the planet. Either you're with us or you're against us. If you're against us, there's going to be hell to pay. Shelley Winter Show. We'll be right back. Almost gave out the number. It's nothing to give out. That's why I paused. Shelley Winter Show. We'll be right back. When we come back, we're going to talk a little Grammys and culture. I have something to say to everybody regarding the Grammys. It's a bigger topic, but it's centered around the Grammys, Cowboy Carter, Beyonce, country music, and all of that. But I'm talking to everybody. And then after that, Janelle King, my little sister's calling in to tell us and invite all of you to a great event going on tomorrow evening that I want you all to go to. So that's coming up next on the Shelley Winter Show. We'll be right back.